Okay, so hi, I'm Kimberly Whittington. I am a former personal trainer, now working with Achieve Tahoe. So today's workout, we're going to be doing 10 exercises. The first 7 are all standing. The second, or the last 3 are all on our mat. So we'll start with a warm up. We'll go through those 10 exercises, and then we'll take a short break and then go through those 10 exercises again. So a circuit of 10 exercises. We are continuing our challenge this week, so we're going to be doing 200 squats today. So we're doing 1,000 squats to Christmas. So this is week 800. So as I always say, if that's too much for you or the exercises don't work for you, feel free to change them up, do whatever works for you. So whether we're doing squats and you want to do crunches, just make the workout work for you. And I do give some alternative exercises or different modifications. So yeah, do what works for you. So we're going to start with a warm up. And maybe this is actually better. Is that better? Kind of, maybe. Okay. So we'll start with big arm circles backwards. We do have some exercises today where you will need weight. If you're using weight, you don't necessarily need to use weight, but we do have some deltoids, triceps, and rows. So you may want a couple different sizes of weights if you have them. So now we'll go forward. So big arm circles forward. And now we're going to go out and across. So for this one, my palms are facing the ceiling and I'm swinging my arms, really trying to open up my chest and cross my arms in the front so I'm getting a stretch through my back. Now we're going to do the same movement and flip your hands out. Now palms facing down. Alternating right on top, left on top. I'm going to go feet apart. So I call this the starfish stretch. Feet are apart, my hands are up in the air, and I'm going to cross my body and reach for my opposite toe, and then back up. So we'll do this about 5 or 6 times on each side. Let's go one more time each side. And butt kickers. So trying to get your heel as close as you can to your butt. Loosen up our quads because we're going to have a lot of squats today. We're going to be such strong skiers. And we're going to go, I call these toy soldiers. So we're kicking our foot out, trying to hit our hand out in front of us. Obviously, if you don't have that flexibility or you have balance issues, you can always grab a wall, do one leg at a time, or you can alternate, just trying to get our leg high, loosen up the back side of the body. You should feel this in your hamstring, especially if you're tight. So 2 more each side. 1, 1, 2, 2. Let's start at the beginning. So big rotation, shoulder rotations of back. So try to get those circles as big as you can. I always feel some cracking in my shoulder. That's normal. Awesome. Now we're going to go forward. So same movement. Forward. 3, 2, and 1. So palms up, out and across. Again, alternating left on top, right on top. Same movement, flip those palms facing down. Three, 2, and 1. So now we're going to go hands above our head, feet are apart. So I'm reaching across my body, reaching for the outside of the foot if you can. If you can't make it all the way to the floor, maybe you're just reaching for the outside of the calf. Nice, keep going. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And butt kickers. So trying to get the heel close to your butt. You can jog if you want to in place. I turned my heat down this week because last week we had a lot of cardio stuff, but I was so sweaty afterwards. So I was like, okay, turning my heat off. And I remembered. And it's really crazy warm right now here. So I can't believe it's like in the 50s and it's December. So toy soldiers. So again, reaching, kicking your foot as high as you can. If you need a wall for balance, feel free to grab a chair, grab a wall. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, so surprise, surprise, we're gonna start with squats. And so we're gonna start with goblet squats. We did this one a few weeks ago, but just as a review, so if you're using weight, you're gonna need 1 weight, and the weight is up to you. Could be super light, could be no weight at all. But so with a goblet squat, you're basically gonna be holding the weight here in front of you at your chest. And then my feet they're not as far as a sumo squat, but they're wider than my hips, okay? And so if it feels good for you to turn your toes out slightly, just like we do with a sumo squat, that's totally fine. That's definitely not wrong. And you wanna be comfortable. So when I squat here, I'm holding the weight at my chest, squatting down. If I can get my quads parallel to the floor, that's great. If you can't, go as low as comfortable for you. So we are gonna go to 25. We're gonna do this one twice. This is the first round, right? So first exercise of 10. So it looks like everybody's ready here. All right, so we're gonna start now. Keep your chest up. So we're gonna start 1, 2, 3. If I'm going too fast, feel free to slow it down. You can speed it up and do more than 200 squats today if you want. So I'm counting in my head. Sometimes I lose count a little bit, but this is 10. So it's really, really important. This is 15, so we have 10 to go, that you keep your chest up. So do not fold forward. So if you're starting to fold forward, maybe you're squatting down too low. You really want to keep the chest upright and facing the computer, not the floor. So we have 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. So we're going to go to rows. So for our rows, you're going to need one weight. I sat mine down because I wanted to take off my sweater, but so you're gonna just need one weight for our rows. And so we're gonna do standing rows. So for a standing row, I wanna stand up nice and tall, roll my shoulders back and down, and then hinge at the hips. So I'm here, I'm kind of slightly folded over. And then from here, I like to put one hand on my thigh, and then I'm just rowing up as high as I can, bringing that elbow up, okay? So we're gonna go 15 on each side. So from here, starting with the weight hanging, we're gonna row up 1. So get the elbow as high as you can. Keep the back flat. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I'm going to switch to the other hand. I'm going to turn so you guys can see me. You can certainly do 2 at the same time, but I do feel like whenever you do one side at a time, you really focus on the muscle group that you're using, right? So I'm rowing, pulling up, rowing up to my side, high elbow, right? So from here, slightly bent over, back's flat, row up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So nice and controlled, right? So whenever the weight comes down, I'm not just letting the weight fall toward the floor, I'm actually lowering it, right? So I'm using that negative to lower the weight. 5 more. So 5, high elbow, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So we're gonna go into squat bounces. So again, I think we did this one a couple weeks ago. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down into a squat and we're gonna bounce for 25. So it's like really tiny squats, right? So I'm not fully extending. I'm gonna stay in my squat and bounce for 15 pulses. So it's about 25 seconds. I'm gonna turn to the side so you guys can see me. It's gonna look like this, right? So I'm gonna come down into my squat. My feet are just right underneath my hips. So I'm gonna come down into my squat and then I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 till we get to 25, okay? So go ahead and come down into your squat. So try to get those quads parallel if you can. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Chest is up. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Whew, all right. We are going to grab our weight if you have it. So we're going to do deltoid raises. And so instead of coming out to the side, we are going to come out to the side, but we're also going to go to the front. So we're going to do 10 each. I have 8, which is really pretty heavy for a deltoid raise. I just didn't want to go downstairs and get my other weights. So, but it's going to look like this. So I'm going to come out to the side, and then I'm going to come up to the front. Okay, and then I'm going to go back out to the side. So we'll do 10 each way, okay? So we're going to start here, come out into a T, slight bend in the elbow, 1, to the front, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your weight is too heavy, you can always set your weight down. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 5 more, we're almost there. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Whew, that was heavy. All right, so for sumo squats, we're gonna do something a little bit different today. So last week we did squat thrusts where we would squat down to the floor and then jump up. So this week we're going to do sumo squats, but in doing sumo squats, I'm gonna bring my feet together. Okay, so I'm gonna get in my sumo squat stance, so just like this. So I'm gonna squat down, feet come together, squat, back out, right? So I'm jumping back out into that sumo squat. So if this doesn't work for you or the jumping doesn't work for you, feel free to stay right here. It's more of a way for us to get our heart rate up. And I know Johnny really wants to do that. So we're gonna start 25, right? So I'm starting with my feet out in a sumo squat position. Okay, so I'm gonna squat down together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chest is up. 9, 10, 11. Keep going, do the best you can. Try to stay with us. That's 15. Three more together. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We're gonna grab our weight again. You only need one weight. We're doing triceps. So for today's tricep, I'm gonna hold my weight like this. So one hand on each side of the barbell. And then I'm gonna come up over my head, drop it down to my shoulder blades, and then press up, okay? So we're gonna do this for about 15. So depending on how heavy your weight is, you may want to get a lighter weight or whatever. So we're gonna go to 15. So weight comes up. Awesome, start. So 1, squeeze those elbows into the head. 2, fully extend if you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't let the weight just fall, right? So slowly lower the weight toward your shoulder blades. And that's 10. So 5 more. 5, squeeze at the top. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Okay, so last round of squats before we move down to the mat. So these are called skier squats. So if you're pretending you're on skis, my feet are pretty close together. So for this squat, you almost want your feet touching, right? So whenever you're in skis, you only have about an inch, right, between your skis. So we want to kind of try to do the same thing with our feet. We're not going to be able to go as low as you would if your feet were apart like in a sumo squat. Okay, so here we're going to come down and then back up. So feet are close together. Keep your chest up. Again, if you start to fold forward, don't go as low. Okay, so we're going to go to 25. Whew. All right, squat for 1, 2, keep that chest up. 3, I like to keep my hands in front of me because it keeps me upright. Whenever I put my hands on my waist, I tend to want to fold forward, which we don't want. Put your weight in your heels. I've lost count. Let's just say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Last 10 for this round. Stay with me. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, 100 squats down. That wasn't so bad. Make sure you have plenty of room. We are going to go down to our mat now. So just make sure that there's nothing below your feet. So we have 3 exercises on the mat. So we're going to do bicycle crunch, plank, and push-ups. We haven't done push-ups in a little while, so we should all be fresh. So we're going to go ahead and come down to our back. So I'll give everybody a second to get here. I don't need to see you as long as you can see me. So from here, a bicycle crunch, what I want to make sure I'm doing is I have one knee up, one leg is straight. If I can hover that leg without setting it down, that's ideal. But if you have back problems, then you probably, setting that foot down is just fine. So from here, I'm going to alternate opposite elbow to knee and then switch. Okay, so we're going to do 20, which if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to go to 40. Okay, so it looks like everybody's ready here. So again, I'm going to go opposite elbow to knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. It does really help if you think about pulling your toe toward your body instead of pointing your toe. 10, 11, 12. You can go as fast or as slow as you'd like. Whenever they get painful, I tend to want to go really fast, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm getting the most out of the exercise. It just means that I'm in pain. And we're halfway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, all right. We're going to flip over for plank. So a couple different ways you can do plank. I'm sure you guys have heard me say this a million times. You can either go into a high plank. So that means I'm going to be up on my hands like this, or you can come down to your elbows, right? So what we don't want to do is dip our back or push our butt to the air, right? So we want to try to get a nice solid plank. We're going to go for 30 seconds. We're going to rest 30 seconds, and then we're going to go into some push-ups, okay? So first 30 seconds, whichever plank you want to do, high plank, low plank, we're going to come up into our plank. Time starts now. So hold it, we're halfway. So really think about squeezing those core muscles, engaging your obliques, your abdominals. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So go ahead and come down to your stomach. Rest for a second. We're going to come up and do plank one more time for 30 seconds. Deep breath. All right, so we're gonna go for our second round. So everybody come up into your plank. I'm actually gonna go high plank this time. So really try not to let your back dip. I would almost rather see your butt up slightly than you arching your back. So we're halfway. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ugh. Okay, so last exercise for today, we're going to do some push-ups. And so for our first round of push-ups, we're going to do chest to floor push-ups. And what happens when you go all the way, your chest comes to the floor, I'm going to lift my hands up at the bottom and then set them back down. So when I do my push-ups, it doesn't matter if you're on your knees or on your toes, it's going to look like this. So I'm going to come all the way down, lift my hands off the floor, set them back down, push up, okay? So we're squeezing our shoulder blades together at the bottom, lifting our hands, okay? So we're going to go to 10, do the best you can. I'm going to go pretty slow here, so go ahead and lower yourself to the floor, lift your hands. 1, 2, keep the elbows tucked into the body. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. You can sit back into child's pose. Whenever I do this, I try to walk my fingertips forward. And you just get a little bit more of a stretch through your lats. So we're going to take about 2 minutes here, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, to take a break, get a drink of water, stretch if you need to. I'm going to open my window, and then we're going to go through all those exercises again, okay? So grab water if you need it. Whew. Okay, only 100 more squats to go. You got this. It's gonna be great. So we have about another minute. Just as a review, we're gonna start with our goblet squats. So you will need a weight. Unless you're not using weight, then you don't need one. I wanted to, while we're breaking here, I wanted to kind of go over something that's really important in a squat. And I'm actually going to show you without the weight. So a lot of times people who are really flexible have this ability to go really deep in their squat. So if I'm here and I squat down, this is really only as far as I want to go, because whenever I go lower, you can kind of see my tailbone start to curl under, and that's really not good, right? So I don't want to break my squat. When I squat down, I just want to go to where my quads are parallel, not to where I'm kind of like now breaking, my tailbone's curling under. That's not where you want to be, right? So even if you're super flexible and you can go that low, and this is a really great stretch, but it's not the way that we do a squat, especially if you're lifting weight. So anyway, So we're gonna start with our 25 goblet squats. So here we have our weight. If you're using a weight, I'm keeping the weight at my chest. My elbows are up. I'm not folding forward. Feet are slightly wider than your hips here. Okay, so starting our 25, looks like everybody's pretty much ready. So we're gonna come down for 1, 2. The more you keep your gaze up, either looking at the screen or looking at the wall, the more upright you're gonna keep your chest. When we tend to look down at the floor, we fold forward. So keep your gaze up. Let's just say that's 8. Sorry, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Again, if you can't squat down that low, that's totally fine. Do mini squats, that's great. So we have 5 more, let's go 5 together. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, my quads are starting to feel it. So we're gonna go into our rows. So remember, for this one, I'm doing one side at a time. If you wanna do both sides at once, you can do that too. So for our row, feet are together. I'm gonna stand up straight, roll your shoulders back and down, chest is open. Slightly fold forward, hinge at the hips. Weight should be dangling here. Row up high, high elbow. 1. Going to 15. 2, 3. So for this one, your gaze should be right out in front of your shoes. So I'm keeping that spine straight. I'm not curling through my spine, keeping my back as straight as possible. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost there. High elbow, high elbow. For 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna switch sides. So restart, shoulders are rolled back and down, hinge at the hips, fold forward slightly. For 1, slowly lowering the weight back down toward the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, rows done for the day. So we're gonna go into our squat bounces, so you can set your weight down. We'll need those in a little bit. So remember, for our squat bounces, feet are right under our hips. I'm gonna come down into my squat and I'm gonna pulse for 25, okay? So, everybody ready? So come down into your squat for 1, 2, 3. Again, it's nice to have your hands out in front of you. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Weight in the heels. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Whew. All right. Maybe do some butt kickers. Stretch out our quads a little bit. We're going to go into deltoid raises. So remember, deltoids to the side, T up to the middle. So grab your weight. Weight comes together in front of you. We're going to come out into our T for 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're not locking out your elbows. You want a slight bend in your elbows. It's going to help you lift the weight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. We're going to set our weight down. So we only have 50 more squats to do. So remember, this set of squats is either regular sumo squats, so toes are slightly pointed outward, and then we're going to jump to the center, squat, for 25. So if this is too much for you, please just stay in a sumo squat. That's totally fine. So get ready here. So we're going to squat, 1, together, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 10 more, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, catch your breath. We're going to go into triceps and then skier squats. So you're going to need one weight. We're doing 15. So overhead triceps. Remember, if your elbows look like this, you're doing it wrong. You want to bring your elbows into your head, fully extend, squeezing your biceps to your ears at the top, okay? Whew. Okay, so from here, press up for 1, slowly lower the weight toward your shoulder blades, 2, 3, suck in your stomach, stand up tall, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right. All right, so our last set of squats, last 25 of 200. So skier squats. Remember, feet are really close together, right? Just like we're on skis. So last 25, try to stay with me, and then we get to move to the floor, right? So go ahead and come down into your skier squat for 1. Keep that back flat, 2. Mini squats are good, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, keep your gaze up. Try not to stare at the floor. Keep going here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 200. Good for you. That's over. We're going to go to the mat for our last 3 exercises, and then we'll do some stretching. So we're going to go into bicycle crunches. So I'd come down to your mat. Remember, we're going to start on our back. So however you want to get there. So here we're either going bicycle crunches 1, 1, 2, 2, or you're counting to 40. I feel like counting to 40 goes faster, but it also feels like you have more, so. All right, so go ahead and we're gonna start. So if you can hover that leg that's straight, great. Reach across your body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, halfway. So keep moving. Think about pulling your toe toward your body. They call that dorsiflex. Last 10 together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, so we're gonna flip over to our stomach for our plank. So 2 rounds of 30 seconds. Last time I just kind of winged it in my head, but I'm actually gonna time us this time. Don't worry. All right, so whatever you were doing last time, if you were doing low plank or high plank, think about maybe doing something different this time. So maybe you try high plank, or maybe you try low plank, or you split it up and do high plank, then low plank. Okay, just so that you kind of like get a feel for how it feels different. I'm gonna start in low plank on my elbows. And we're gonna tuck our toes under, get ready to come up now. So come up into your plank. Here, gaze should be down at your hands. So you're keeping that spine straight. Shoulders should be directly over your elbows. So I'm not forward and I'm not back, I'm just squared up. We're a little over halfway. So hold it here, guys, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So come down, relax, take a deep breath. We're gonna come back up for our last 30 seconds of plank. So I'm gonna go into a high plank, just to change it up. So I'm gonna tuck my toes under, come up into my high plank, last 30 seconds. So stay strong here. Really think about engaging your core. Squeeze your abdominals and your obliques. Try to keep your shoulders out of your ears. So if you're doing this, try to stand up a little taller, plank taller. We're almost there. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, so last exercise for today. So this time, instead of pulling our hands off the ground, this time we're gonna do a tricep plank. So it's kind of similar, but we're not fully extending and laying on the ground. So with the tricep plank, it's super important that when you come down, your elbows are coming straight back, just like that. So for instance, from here, I'm gonna come down, keeping my elbows really tight to my side. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. So it may just look like this, okay? So we're gonna do 10. Do them at your own pace. If I'm going too fast, then just please take your time, okay? So here in our high plank, come down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, nice work, everybody. We're gonna stretch, but I am going to unmute everyone. So